Hello everyone, this is Cookies. I've got turn 100. We've made it all the way to turn 100. I forgot to pull up what I was casting last turn, and one of the things that we dialed up was two Black Death casts on Nidavinger's capital. So we see this one, very, not very helpful message. It's just like, yeah, you cast it. We try transformation on a guy, trying to get him to turn into something with more slots. We do an illusory attack. We get hit by an earth elemental, but the carrying commander somehow defends because of two bears. Naba puts up purgatory, so we're going to lose a bunch of stuff to that again. We lose a lab. Oh, here's our second Black Death. We cast 3 Flames from the Skies ourself. I think at the Shinyama throne and at the big Nidavinger army. Because I knew that the mobile dome artifact had been forged, but I wasn't sure by who. But I had a good feeling it was the Nidavinger. It was on that Nidavinger army because it was just doom stacking that hard. So I had a feeling that it was riding under that dome to try and secure our throne. We have another Earth Elemental kill a mage and a bunch of bodyguards, which is sad. Let's see. Illusory attack. Idol of Sorcery jumps on ourselves and kills it. He's done a couple of magic, wishing for magic powers. So this idol is ridiculous. It's Astral 8 without boosters. It's got at least 2 in every path. If I kill it, it'll probably just be back next turn. It's got Simulacrum anyways, so it's going to take a toll every turn. If it wants to kill a raiding group, though, that's fine with me, as long as it's not jumping on my armies. I will continue to put out raiding groups that it can happily kill, hopefully, rather than my armies. Alright. This is Flames from the Sky, killing some more of my stuff. And then we've got the incident in Undrase, where this is the throne for Shinyama. So we killed 25 diebacks. This is not worth 30 fire gems. Unfortunately, we don't get anything more useful. I was hoping to pick off Ubas, but that doesn't work. And then we hit Nidavinger. I suppose we can watch the Nidavinger one, because their army is gigantic. Pretty cool new feature, being able to see all that. That's fun. And then, in terms of what we kill, we nab an adept. The Bear Clan guys probably don't matter that much. I'm sure there's a few of them with items, but I don't know that we killed any that mattered. We get a Kakothiad, which is nice. 3 Lizard Shamans. And we pick off some troops. So, score 544 kills. That feels nice, you know, considering how much Flames from the Sky we've eaten. So, being able to kill like a third of this army feels pretty good. We failed to seduce this Uba, and we end up killing it. I think this runs a little bit closer than I would have liked, though. So it's got an Earth Gem. Oh, never mind, it doesn't. I suppose she could have, like, Frozen Hearted our assassin. We have a carrying commander killed by a Shaitan. So you can see it's just a blood hunting Shaitan. And then when it comes to normal phase battles, so to try and hit his cap with those 2 Black Deaths, we stopped doing the Ghost Riders for a turn. We run into a Queen of Winter over here. So she's got a whole bunch of death gems. So I think this is Stygian Rain. Now, it's helpful against our claw attacks, but we have a lot of sleep finds, which will still work just fine. And it also works for us, so it gives us more protection than we normally have. But I think the idea was just to slow down the combat so the queen could do a whole bunch of ice strikes. And we do end up getting her to, like, just about 200 fatigue. But then the raid runs out of steam. Okay. And then, okay, so we've got Mountains of Madness, which is another raid. So Nidavinger's been putting together a lot of these. Like, so he gets the foreign recruit bear clan, and he pads out the numbers with Solus. And he brings enough mages to, like, buff the whole group. And these raids can kill hundreds of mannequins, so they're pretty effective against me. And so we got Storm, Twilight, Natural Rain. He puts up Army of Mist. No protection spell, but I mean, this is more than enough. We've got no magic support on our end. So he's gonna claim a few more Carrion Furies. Let's see, so that's Mountains of Madness. So we lose 100, only kill Solus, and have a Fury stolen, which is sad. We bounce, no, we barely beat PD, I think. Alright. We bounce off of PD and 1 Adept. We bounce. We kill this. This is an army, so we killed a fair amount of PD here. This has a little bit more mage support on our end. We see the Queen of Storms roll out. So we can check out her kit. So she's got a Storm Staff, Cloak of Astral Storms, a whole bunch of expensive kit. So 50 gems summoned, that's 90, 115, 140, I think, 150, 160 gems worth of kit before discounts are taken into account. So pretty strong. Creates a bunch of air elementals. Oops, I didn't mean to back out that far. Let's see. Alright, then we have another raid. This one goes a lot better. The Carrion Furies go ham. We clear out a bunch of Bear Clan, clear out a bunch of PD. This raid does not go well. We lose 154 things. So this is Oak Beach. So this guy is going to be a problem. He's Fire 5, can Firestorm every battle. We've got a huge Death Mage here with some blood stuff, including a Heartweaver Scarab. And then we've got a fair number of other mages. So he likes adding these D1s to armies to just bring in a bunch of extra Lung Dead and to distract attack rear. I think that's pretty well scripted. Yeah, so the big Deathcaster does Undead Mastery, trying to steal our stuff. Now, Undead Mastery, if there's no pin gear, I don't think it's going to steal a lot of our stuff. Now, he does pick up like a Carrion Fury, but we've got fairly high base MR most of the time. So if he really wanted to make a living off of it, he needs to add the pin gear. That said, we never really properly broke into Astral. We have a lot of S1 scattered around to block mind hunts, but we didn't really break into high Astral. We didn't get recruitable sages until very recently. We didn't have the gold to get them until even more recently. So it's just it's tough for us to protect our stuff with anti-magic. All right. So he steals a few things, but not much. I don't know that it was worth that Death Mage's time, but maybe it was. Okay, I've done like 3 hours of recording today, so I think I'm starting to lose my voice. But I'll try to make it through this. All right. So we kill a fair amount of this stuff, but I think we lost a fair amount of stuff too. So he's just got a lot more mages than I do. This is the comeuppance for for that diplomatic deal where I let him take Machaca to not get coalitioned. Because I wasn't able to keep expanding my mage core in the same way, because I was out of money. Alright. We do reasonably well here. We clear out some PD. Clear out a squad of Draconians here. Raiding group or patrolling something gets attacked by the Nidavellir army. I think this is the big one, but it's only part of it, which is kind of weird. And then, alright, this one's going to make me real sad. Alright, so this is the battle where we don't bless our stuff. So we're going to lose 82 Furies. Which is just pure depression for me. So he's got a bunch of these diebacks. He's got some of the Bakemono sorcerers, a fair amount of Uba. They're equipped, they're scripted. So, I mean, it's a lot of gear in here. We've got this Shadow Seer who might be trying to do Arcane Domination. We've got a lot of Earth and Fire gems, probably a lot of Fire and Earth elementals. You know, we've put in a lot here. So we've got a fairly large army ourselves. So, I mean, our Loamar stuff is out in front, so if it does get stolen, hopefully we can clear it out. But not having the Holy Three here is fucking stupid. Alright. So let's see what the big Astral Mage casts. So he's doing Power of the Spheres. Rigor goes up. So we've got protection buffs coming out, so they're going to be really annoying to try and kill. Firestorm comes out. And I still cry every time I see all these sacreds not being blessed. There's a few like little holy ones and holy twos scattered around that are doing a little bit of blessing, but nothing crazy. And then we get hit with the big Undead Mastery. And we get hit with the big Arcane Domination. So Arcane Domination is something that I've been waiting to see someone pull against me. It did extremely well against Asphodels and other games of mine. Us not blessing does affect things. So, but yeah. So what we got here is a big civil war now. And I am curious, does this Astral guy have fire res? He does. He has 10 fire res. So, yeah, he's going to be a problem. I would be remiss if I didn't take a quick look at this thug, because Shinyama is pretty proud of him. So he's got the Aegis, which is an artifact. So he's up at 39 protection, has an Axe of Hate, a Dragon Helmet, Monolith Armor for crazy amounts of additional protection, Wormskin Boots for a bunch of resists and 20% regen, which is insane. Ring of Regen for more regen. So he's up at 50% regen on 84 HP. He's got Phoenix Pyre, so I'd have to kill him with my own Axe of Hate thugs. The only upside is he's at 4 reinvigoration, and his... I guess he's got no melee encumbrance. I forgot. He's a white mage, so he's not going to have all that. So he's actually a complete pain in the ass. We'd probably need advancing cast, like carrion mages or something, spamming Disintegrate, and eventually we'd probably get a good roll, or control undead, something like that. But yeah, this guy's a pain in the ass. We could HP route him by killing the stuff behind him, but you can see by the time we've finished our Civil War, and because our Sacreds only have 5 fire resist, well, that one's blessed. Yeah, so our Sacreds only have 5 fire resist, a lot of them actually. They will slowly burn out to Firestorm. So, and then we see the petrification effect. We do get a few Sacreds in here doing a little bit of damage. Most of the ones that are left are blessed, so they have the 10 fire res. So they're actually having to kill those. And of course, 2 of them get stolen, because we don't have anti-magic. So this was a pretty devastating loss. We lose 1,400, including 40 Sagittarian carcasses and 82 carrion furies. This is a significant portion of our carrion furies. It might be, I don't know, let's call it 20% of our carrion furies, so that was a significant loss. Fortunately, none of our important commanders get killed, I don't think. I think they all retreat successfully. So the Mage Core remains intact. I'm going to take this turn to hire a Holy 3 for the next time we have to try and fight this army. Oh no, I lost, was it Andrase? Okay. So continuing on, that was pretty disappointing. Our scripting could definitely be better. And then we eat another... No, this one goes reasonably well. Alright. So we catch part of the Knit of Anger army. I don't know if it was like weird pushing, like movement pushing mechanics, why some of this was left behind, or if it was to secure a retreat route. But we do catch some of the stuff here. We catch the Spectral Mage, who's got a bunch of boosters and temporary gem gens, which is another downside of him having been so successful in Machaka. Is Machaka had all these boosters and temporary gem gens, and you got to loot so much of it. So we got this Flame Spirit, who's going to do Firestorm, I think? No, he doesn't have enough gems, I think, for Firestorm. So no Firestorm here. We've got 3 guys with Moonvine Bracelets and Thistle Maces and Cornucopias, which is... what's that, like 45 gems each? Which is kind of crazy. This guy's got a Crucible of Stone, some other stuff. So a lot of kit in this battle. So pretty quickly we've got, this might be Stygian Rains. Yeah, Stygian Rains goes up again, Foul Vapors and Rigor Mortis. I think Stygian Rains is probably something Asphodel would sometimes put up. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Completely wrong. Stygian Rains is good against Asphodel because it doesn't apply to inanimates. It does apply to my sacreds. So it can hurt there, I think. Or are these guys also? Oh, these guys are also inanimate. So it would apply to my living sacreds like Black Centaur, but it's actually great against me because all it does is give his stuff 15 invulnerability. I take that back. I forgot. Forgetting a lot of the stuff that from playing with Demosthenes when we were fighting against Asphodel. Alright. Then we got Foul Vapors and Rigor Mortis. That said, I don't think he had an S3 caster for anti-magic. I don't think I'd really used Wind of Death on him yet. These guys are from an artifact. Or at least I thought. I'm pretty sure they come from an artifact. Yeah, it's this thing, Ardbin Soul Trap. But yeah, I'm not seeing a big Astral Mage here. On the Nidavellir side, and Nidavellir doesn't always have, I mean, these Kidnits have phenomenal MR, but a lot of the other stuff does not have great MR. So, I don't know. We're trying to do the Winds of Death Trap. Yeah, all these Bear Clan are getting hit pretty hard. We do add Howl, we add, was it Awakened Forest? All the trees and wolves are fighting for us. Oh, which is great because we're getting a lot of distractions back here as well. So this battle ends up going reasonably well for us. We do, because of some of the stuff back here, we do end up catching some of the mages too, which is really nice. And so we get some gear. We get the winged helmet, but we don't get some of the other stuff. So water bracelet, water lens. We pick up a couple of cornucopias, which is really nice. We get a thistle mace. Would have been nice to get some of the moonvine bracelets, but we don't end up finding any of those, I think. But you know, we'll take whatever we can get. And we do get to kill a chunk of that army, so it's another chunk that's gone. So we killed, what was it, like 500 in the Flames from the Sky, and this is another 300. So we're looking at about half strength for that army, although most of its mage core, that like 100 mages, is still intact. Let's see. Oh gosh, I shouldn't have left that menu. I'm too used to leaving it. Let's see. I think we went through a fair amount of this. Okay, his main army kills that. Yeah, we die to Shenu. Let's see. So yeah, in this battle, so we lose a bunch of the Harpy mannequins. That's fine. We lose a bunch of the regular mannequins. It's also somewhat fine. And for 6 Carrion Furies, we pick up 140 kills, which that's the kind of ratio for combats that we're looking for. So that battle was okay. We also got a fair amount of loot, which might help us win future battles. You can see though we're starting to really attrit out in the raiding game. Like a few mages with a bunch of foreign rec bear clan is really giving us a hard time. And then let's see, so we eat a loss here. We only kill 26 corpse constructs. We lose a fair amount of stuff here. And this is just, I think, more ice strikes and probably Stygian Rains. Idol of Sorcery jumps on some more wyverns. And we find another Bakemono sorcerer. Probably just put up Firestorm or something, or was a thug. I suppose we can watch this. He probably just puts up Fire Shield and just stands there. Yeah, so this is just a basic thug that can kill a lot of mannequins. If I had more Black Dryads at this point, or Dryad Hags, I could have them on advancing cast and maybe they could help kill something like this. Because this guy's got no poison res. But you can see how quickly mannequins delete themselves on Fire Shield. It's actually kind of comical. We ping this fort to kind of see what's inside. And then we end up capturing this fortress. We lose some stuff, but it's not too bad. In large part because we have a bunch of wyverns that just jump in and kill a lot of the stuff. And there's not much inside. Alright. So let's go ahead and jump out. So we eat the really big loss here. We have a partial loss here. And we've got a big Naba army marching towards us. So we need to clean up our act, or we're... because there's a very real possibility we lose this game. You can see in the army graph, like we're attriting out very rapidly. Maybe like 10% of our army per turn. So we're only going to be able to sustain this for a few more turns, and then we're going to start getting rolled back, and then Nidavellir is probably going to win the game. So this is going to be real tough. The big threats we identified this turn was this Naba army. We need to try and kill this so that maybe we can actually close out the Naba war or remove Naba as a legitimate threat. And as part of that, we've got this here, and we've got 2 Holy Threes, so at least we're going to bless our shit this time. We've got the Water Mage. We're going to have Anti-Magic, which is also really nice, because we've got 2 of our big Astral Mages here. And I probably need to split those up in my current turn, although that might end to a result. But we've got everything here that we need to win this game, or this battle. And the Naba army would have to do a pretty big gem reload, I think, and even then it would be close. So I think this is imminently winnable, although it's going to be a lot of evocations. And then the other thing is we did kind of partially win this battle here. There's a big army here. We're going to throw up Iron Walls this turn because we're down. They're going to crack it if we don't. So we're going to throw up Iron Walls. We're going to hit this army with Flames from the Sky. And we noticed while scrolling around, we finally looked at the cave and we saw a big army coming up from down here. And the scouting report didn't have a crazy number of mages in it, but what I thought would happen, or had a good chance of happening, was the army in Melma maybe trying to meet up with that other Nidavellir army, which is probably trying to avoid Flames from the Sky by staying in that cave. And I thought they would meet in Ebbis. So we're all in on Ebbis. Everything in the region that can help is coming to Ebbis. I double-checked and triple-checked to make sure everything was on patrol, and we still ended up with stuff that wasn't on patrol. So this is on move. So we're going to miss a bunch of Draconians. That said, we still got a lot of stuff on patrol. So this is what our formation looks like. You know, we got low MR stuff out in front. We got the little bit higher MR stuff out here. I mean, we've got stuff. We're bringing in the sacreds. We're bringing in the high quality stuff. We've got Hell, Divine Blessing. We're actually going to bless our shit this time. We got Sagittarian Carcasses. We're going to throw up Darkness, something Normally we're just trying to get up rigor, but getting up darkness is going to be really nice for us. We're going to put up foul vapors. We got more sacreds, more sacreds, more sacreds. We've got an anti-magic caster for a change. We're going to do Army of Bronze, which is also going to be really nice on us. This is going to be all the things. We got, this one's an advancing cast, kind of like trying to kill people. Got Awakened Forest, Divine Blessing. I probably just forgot to put another nature spell on this guy, like Relief. We got Life After Death for our living stuff, which is kind of neat. We got Frostfind, we got Frostflesh Army, we got Rain and Frostfind again, making sure we get those water buffs. And we got even more Sacreds coming in. I mean, we got everything coming in. And I think this is another one that's eminently winnable. The downside would be if he only sends a small force to try and clear the fort before he moves in the army. That would be bad. And hopefully we can avoid that. There is some stuff just patrolling here that would hopefully intercept any magic phase stuff, and they've got a few sacreds too. If this army moves on to Abyss, I think we might be able to clear his whole army. It's the hope. Even if it's like 1,000 of them, and that would be a pretty crushing victory. Would be immediately able to counterattack out into the Machaka interior and maybe threaten Silverfangs. As it is, we are going to Flames from the Sky this. I'm not really sure what to do here, so I'm just going to send something small to raid it. Maybe we can lock it down. That would be nice. We're going to pick up that Carrion Lord so we can fucking bless next time. We're going to move on to Range of Shadow. There's a lot of stuff here. So I'm hopeful that this army can handle it. We've got this guy who's got all sorts of expensive kit on him because he hasn't found a lab yet to dump some of it. And then we've got this Hydromancer coming in to join, and we're bringing in a Lich to also cast some stuff to try and hopefully take this fort. We're trying to keep the raiding pressure on Shinyama. We're going to march on Mushwood with one of our armies. Just trying to isolate these thrones more and more, push into the core forts, reduce income. You know, if we can kill Daibakemono through a lack of income, that would be great. If you can't hire more stupid Bakemono sorcerers, that would also be great. So we've got armies moving in. We're going to rotate this force off of this throne because I know there's a large Machaka army in here, and we're going to try and secure more of the region around Shambolic and look at trying to get into this. And then, yeah, we're going to prep for this big army. I'm not going to put in the storm commands because I don't know what all would be left even if we win. And I'd probably want this guy to help storm too. And then the raids, we're still launching raids, but they have to calm down a little bit. We're just running too low on stuff. And a lot of these border garrisons are too strong for individual raiding groups to break through. So I think he's starting to get the contain in place, and then it's going to be these crazy Bear Clan mage supported like commitments that I have a hard time dealing with, and I think he's almost filled up the whole border with them, so it's going to be a pain in the ass. But where we can, we will continue trying to break through and flood through. There's a big throne here with a huge garrison that's probably just shooting out more raiding groups to try and contain us. But we'll see what we can do. And then we've got some stuff in here, you know, trying to send out new raiding groups. So new stuff coming out into Lost Canyon Range. Trying to replace some of these groups that have attrited out. And yeah, I think that's it for this one. Let's go ahead and look at what we're forging. More rings of fire. I can never seem to have enough rings of fire, but we've had enough to do what we needed to do. And then let's see, and then that was forging, and then for casting, we're doing a random infernal disease, we're doing arcane analysis on purgatory, another flames from the sky illusory attack, a Tartarian gate, getting that carrion lord. Let's see, iron walls. I guess we're putting up vengeful waters. Ah, yes, because we've actually got decent dominion here. So the hope is if we do a surprise vengeful waters cast, maybe we can assassinate some of the mages as well and start making progress on that front for treading out this army as well and preventing it from storming Melma, because we might have a hard time getting back into Melma and trying to take that, especially if his idol jumps in there. I was most concerned about the idol jumping on forts to kill my big armies, but it seems like he's maybe concerned about having it trapped there. Even though he can probably add extra pearls to it to do like a ritual of returning, but he also might want to keep his freedom of action for like keep it on a lab and to be able to try and stop a throne rush like the turn it's happening. And if he's summoning back his pretender on any given turn, or if it's trapped on a random fort, that's like a turn where I get more freedom of action. And especially if it gets trapped in the void. So he's probably trying to avoid returning stuff as well. So he's being careful with that. All right. And yeah, we're just trying to raid around here. There's a concerning golem here. We've got a bunch of, yeah, so we've got like assassins running around. But cool. I think that's it for turn 100. And I will go ahead and see you guys in turn 101. Have a good one. Bye.